Hey y'all, I'm not going to try and get you lost on my reason for making these videos. My life was being staged. It was being staged from the very beginning of my life, and I learned through reading court documents that these people just wanted me to not have around so that they could continue to engineer and orchestrate these events, much like an underground play inside of my life. So I'm going to go off my notes, excuse me that I'm looking down, but they kept their blueprints and timelines with deadlines attached to their whole charts and diagrams, sitting there at their round tables and deciding where to drop the next grenade into my spirit. For every time I tried to breathe, they engineered my own ability to see, to breathe, to escape. Reason for all of this and that to be happening to me. So I just didn't have reasoning at all of a normal development in my earlier years and later years here. Just the way they used all of this and that to track me and add pressure onto me, and then to use that in a situation next, timed so perfectly at a moment's notice, mind you, to time it down to the minute. Then they used this, the next proxy warfare, placed inside of my life for the proxy warfare artist, to take that relationship as well as a setup to collapse me, to take my life away from me. So you feel your whole entire life has been played. Coming out of this state of mind, it's your whole love life plagiarized, your whole work life being patronized, and in your ability to shine. You just don't have it. While they're trying to write up life as a method to make it all out to seem like there's nothing more to be seen when there is, and it's all a crime scene being placed so diligently, like you're just that chalk line already being staged, set in motion to take everything of your own and leave it like it's scripted to be rest and peaced, being sabotaged. An entire production designed to watch you fall from the balcony in slow motion, just not wanting anyone else's eyes to see and watch from the sidelines as you're leaving, battling, trying to fight for your life. You're being left to rot, left to unravel, and then they use all of what was set up all around you to suggest, you see, look, he's unstable. All while at the same time being blind to the facts that you couldn't even trust your own homies, your own home, your own. And yeah, oftentimes your enemies come from your own household. It's written in the Bible, mind you. When you turn to Christ, you make enemies within your own household. So while they hide the facts of that whole bloodbath engineered to create as much instability that one could endure, when it's been all done by their craft, they designed the whole roadmap to test my will to live, and to test my will to survive what they had been putting me into, to lead me perfectly in a position to be poisoned out in such a way that they wanted none of their own to even test the facts that I was setting in motion here. But their cutthroat plans were cutthroat to the T, to keep me locked down clean out of me when they wanted me to crack, stage up the losses, stage up the betrayals and arguments, and then stage for the breakdown that they'd have been standing directly in front of. So, excuse me, I got a notification here. Well, dang. Okay. Sorry about that. people like play innocent and play as if they're bystanders, but instead they're directly played right in front of the architect of that collapse. They watched me fall apart to try to suggest that that was just me. That was my that like what they did to me to poison me, was to create a reaction out of me and then utilize that reaction and then play up that role as if right from the beginning to tear me apart and suggest, see, look at how he is. Look at how he fights. Look at him. Look at him. Being very manipulative in that kind of fashion, and it is witchcraft. It's rolling right past the design, beginning to tear you apart. They act as though their help wasn't the same plan of destruction to cause that collapse, but then they act like your own instability made by that craft was all on your own, and it's to act like it's to act like they're so concerned as well while withdrawing on you deliberately left and right, leaving you torn apart, and just to progressively leave you there. So these stages of a syndicate poisoning and positioning you bit by bit and layer by layer while your whole life is falling apart, set up on this covert operation and the emotional abuse that they take in your life to level you out and try to turn you into a recluse, run by the same people who needed me destroyed and deserted just so they could feel justified in the killing of my name, where they'd have already shared the celebration behind the scenes, having a party all over my life, enjoying these stages to party in my own house and destroy me and gaslight me, leave me within a bloodbath of my own body, while I was already out here trying to win, unable to see it fully, unable to scream out, let alone not knowing the words to suggest as to something happening to me. But I would say something's happening to me. But they then engineered that isolation so much that the panic and the financial ruins engineered inside of the relationship abuse, entrapment, and all of that emotional warfare leaves you within like this abuse that's like landmines going off all over the place inside of your life. And then they stand there and act as though I'm just a recluse all up on my own. Nothing more to see here than him just being him, you see. And it's just an entrapment. It's a status entrapment. Like you can't even see that you're missing anything at times because you're unable to use your brain to its fullest capacity while it's suffocating down to its cellular level. And so you're just sitting there like knowing something's happening, but like literally going to God, like, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? And literally that's kind of the way it was. Oftentimes reaching out to the skies, wondering if I'm going to even make it out alive through the night, many times. So they can go ahead and act like they didn't just literally set up the stages to set me up to die, but I was being bled out in tears of that whole stage that I was never supposed to even be able to see in towards the end here to ever figure it out. But now that I did, they needed not only me blind to the facts, but they needed you all blind to the facts. And anyone that could be able to be trusted as far as like to actually help me get away from this abuse. So I'm going to stop this one here. I just think I'm going through my lyrical values here that I've made, and I'm trying to explain them before I try and perform them. I've been just like really feeling like I'm going to end up dying, and I don't know. It's just such a horrible feeling because it's like I haven't even gotten a little morsel of my life, like my own origination of sound mind, my life, my own origination of my workmanship. Like, and here I am just being treated like I'm money, going to try and get help from these same people that, work within the, nurses and, all these offices of the medical field. And it just seems like it's the same stages to play me off as if I'm just deranged and I don't know what I'm saying, but I do. I had all the experiences at a very young age of a calculated poisoning. I couldn't have suggested to show those people that when it's like outside of my availability of like how wise I am or how much education I could have gotten at the ages of 7 or 9 or 11. You just don't have the words that you need. Like we even thought of narcissism back in like the 1990s. No, we didn't think of narcissism and sociopathy and all of the demonic that we're all exposed to nowadays. We didn't have the words to even try to justify what was happening to us. So, anyway, I'm going to leave this message as that. I just hope that you'll really be able to see how they pushed me from being able to make anything out of myself. And now that I've come out of that long-standing poisoning where I can finally at least feel the sunlight come back into my mind, not really my body, because my body is like fighting all of the abuse that's been placed inside of my life, emotionally and physically. And then on top of it, it's like I'm trying to like make a move here that's to suggest to people and the listeners that I need your help to like get this and get my information in front of influencers or somebody that cares, because it just seems like love is just completely derailed. It's like running, it doesn't have any more coal left or something in the engine of that train, and instead it's like a whole train wreck all over the place, all over the map. It's a train wreck of love and hope and light and enjoyment and happiness and true grit of mankind and true grit of the spirit that we were supposed to live in. And this world should just be way more beautiful than it is by now. Like, I don't know about you, but it's December or November 18th of 2025. Like, don't you think that we should be doing a whole lot better, like a billion times better than we currently are? Like, it just makes no fucking sense to me, and especially coming out of a long-standing poisoning. Like, I knew the world was bad, obviously. My whole reality was bad. When I saw people with normal lives, I'd just be like, really? People, like, actually have people in their lives that care? Ugh. I mean, and good for people that do. Like, really, seriously. You're doing amazing things, regardless of what you believe. You're doing amazing things. You have good character, good morale, and you keep it up. Like, hey, all the better. It matters how we treat each other out here. But this reality in 2025, the political climate, it just does not make any sense. So, I hope that you can help me get to the people that can actually do something for me. And as far as that's concerned, like, I think of myself as being infinitely better than what I am currently able to portray, simply because I'm legit fighting for my life, and honestly, like, left to fight for my life while they're just leveling me out to die. Like, I go in for help multiple times and they want to suggest that it's all mental health. It's not mental health. It has everything to do with how these people have been treating me. And I just don't want to die that way. I don't want to die as like I've worked harder than anybody else I've known to get out of the covert abuse, and then now I figured out that covert abuse and can even name names. It doesn't even matter to these podunky police. Like, where are you, podunky police? Do you care about humanity? Do you work within the laws? Like, do you go around laws? Do you just kind of skate around laws like a junkie? Or do you actually care about the laws and stand on those laws to then work in the law? Because otherwise what I see is just a total influx of people that are just going above the law and above their pay grade to work in this fashion. So anyway, thanks for being here. God bless you all.